Hi YouTubers, thank you so much for watching this channel. My name is Kevin and you're watching The Royal We. In this video I want to share with you one of the most difficult tasks that you're going to have to do coming out of narcissistic abuse, and that is retrain your brain. Now, I know that coming out of narcissistic abuse, you feel upset still, you are obsessing over what took place, you're angry, you're bitter, your family, your friends are all telling you that you've changed and you're not the same person, and they're wondering what the heck is wrong with you, right? All this bad stuff. It could be very depressing. It can keep you held down. Your mind, your emotions, they want to find homeostasis. You want to be balanced again so that you can live a life of peace, joy, and love, right? So that's what we need to do. In order to do that, you have to retrain your brain. So I'm going to give you tips on how to retrain your brain, things that you can start doing. But before we get that, I want to help you to understand how your brain and emotions got to where you are right now. The bitterness, the anger, the frustration that just won't go away. We're going to talk about how you got that, because if you understand how you got to this place, then you'll know what you need to do to correct the issue, okay? So let's go ahead and go back to the narcissistic abuse that took place in your life. Now, at the moment of narcissistic rage, at that moment of abuse, you really only have two options. You can either A, stand up, defend yourself, fight back, yell, scream, cuss, shout, push them, hit them, knock them down, whatever, right? Or you can take the other option, option B, which is to just walk away. Now, no matter what option you decide to do, neither one of them are going to work very well for you. This is why it's so important to find this place where you go no contact and you get out of the relationship, because there is no right response to narcissistic abuse, all right? Let's say, for example, you take option A. You decide to stand up for yourself, fight, scream, shout, yell, push them, whatever, okay? That night after the incident takes place, maybe even the next day or throughout the rest of the week, you are going to be thinking about your response. You're going to be wondering if you did the right thing. You're going to be punishing yourself, right? Because you're not narcissistic and you actually feel bad about what took place, the words you said, and you're going to be thinking about that. And as you're thinking about how bad you feel, you're feeling it, because what you think about, you feel. And what you feel, you think about. Your brain and your emotions are deeply connected. So you're feeling down and you want to fix it. You want to resolve it. You want to reconcile, right? Let's take the other option. It's the option that I took during narcissistic abuse. Not saying anything at all, just walking away. Well, that night or the next morning, you're thinking about it, right? And as I'm thinking about what I could have said, should have said, how I could have stood up for myself better, how I could have yelled at them. And again, my emotions being tied to my mind, I'm feeling what I'm thinking about, so I'm getting built up and anxious and tense, and I'm getting into it, right? And you're trapped in their world. This cycle of abuse is their world and you live in it. And the longer you're in it, you're going through this week after week, month after month, year after year. If you guys are involved with narcissistic abusive people for years, you're dealing with this all the time. Think of how much thinking that is doing to you. Every morning you wake up, you're thinking about what you said or what you didn't say. Every afternoon while you're working, you're thinking about what you did or didn't say. Every night, what you did or didn't say, or did you overreact or did you not overreact? Now, what I want you to understand, and this is going to be key, and you're going to get it the moment I tell you this. Your brain behaves like a muscle. This is a medical fact. Your brain behaves like a muscle. It's not a muscle. It's much more complex than that, but it behaves like a muscle. As you're thinking, you're exercising. You're training it. So by the time you get to the point of the relationship where you're finally fed up and you go no contact and you're like, I'm done with this person. I don't want anything to do with them ever again. You think that, well, that's it. Okay, they're out of my life. I'm done. No. Your brain has been trained for the past months or years or however long you're in the relationship to wake up in the morning and think about what you should have said differently, right? Or to go to bed at night thinking about, how you need to stand up for yourself. And now your brain is operating kind of like on autopilot. It's just replaying what you've trained it to do. This is why you feel depressed. This is why you feel angry all the time. This is why you're obsessing over the situations long after the narcissistic abuse has ended. Your brain has been trained to do it. Are you following me on this? You don't need medication to fix this, guys. You're not clinically depressed. You are just trained wrong. You have put your mind and emotions through this improper training. It's time to get it back on course. So now let's talk about things that you need to start doing right away to get your mind back onto healthy thinking. All right? First thing that you need to do is to take every thought captive. You need to capture these negative thoughts when they come up. So the moment you start obsessing about the narcissistic abuser, or you start obsessing about the situation, or you start thinking about what you could say differently or how you can react differently to people, before as you're getting angry, you need to capture that moment. You're thinking that. Literally write it down. Take it captive. Make that negative thought yours. Own it. I'm mad. Write it down. Own that. Okay? But then that's not all you need to do. What I want you to do, and this is what I'm doing, is to look at my previous video on how to outsmart the narcissist, because I go through a process where you write down the thought, write down that feeling, and then work it out. Look at everything about that feeling that you had. Look at everything about that anger, that frustration. What caused it? When you felt that in your life. This is owning and taking captive your thoughts. You're owning it. Because when you work that process and you look at and you see, man, I understand why this hurts me so bad and why I'm so angry, then you can trash it. This is taking every thought captive. Own those thoughts. Take it captive. Step number 1. All right, guys? Step number 2. Start to focus on purpose. Focus on beautiful and lovely. There's no such word as lovey. Lovey-dovey. Start focusing on beautiful things in life. On purpose. Make yourself do it. Whatever's pure, whatever's beautiful, whatever's lovely, focus on that. If you have kids, children, it's what I'm working on. Post pictures of them with purpose, with the intent. If there's something that somebody has accomplished, applaud that, share that with your friends. Get yourself in the habit of focusing and sharing on beautiful things in life. Whatever is praiseworthy, share that, focus on it. You're going to have to make yourself do this. This is step 2. You have to make yourself do that because it's not easy, especially being negative all the time. You're not used to focusing on all this good stuff, but you got to make yourself do it. Focus with purpose on beautiful and good things. And I know you have it in your life. I know it's hard to see it, but you do. Even if it's your cute little pet poodle or kitten, take pictures and focus on it. Put it out there on, share it. Think about the beautiful stuff in life on purpose, over and over and over again. Why are you doing it? Because you're training your brain, you're retraining your brain to focus on good stuff. And at the same time, you're taking captive the negative stuff and you're owning it and you're trashing it. All right? Last thing you need to do, this is another important one, guys. Be careful who you surround yourself with. Do not hang around people who are negative and gossipers and slanderers. Doesn't matter how funny you think they are. Oh, my good friend Betty, we get together. Yeah, she talks about people, but that's just her. No. Get away from them. Stay away from them for a while. I know you may not like this, but you got to block them for a while. If it's your family member. I had a grandma who loved to just sit and look at people and talk about them. Oh, look at her. How does she fit in that dress? Rah, rah, rah. I love my grandma dearly, but you have to stop associating on a regular basis with people who do these negative things. Okay, it's important during this phase because if you want to be on the road to getting your mind on thinking pure, happy, beautiful thoughts, you need to separate yourself from the gunky mentality. And gunky mentality is gossiping, slandering, acting like a fool, talking about people, being negative. These are all negative things. And you need to get every bit of yourself away from that, all right, guys? Those are the 3 steps. So 1, take your thoughts captive. When you get a negative thought, own it. Take it captive. Write it out. Watch my video on outsmarting the narcissist. Do that process, okay? Step 1. Step 2, Purposefully focus all of your energy and thoughts, the best of your ability, on beautiful, pure, and great things in life. Whatever you can give applause to, give it. Whatever you can be joyful about, do it, and share that with the world with purpose. And step 3, watch who you spend your time with. Don't spend time with negative people. Spend your time around people who are going to lift you up, talk beautiful things about people, say encouraging things about people. Spend your time with those people, all right? If you do these 3 things, you will retrain your brain and you will get back to a place of peace and harmony. In fact, you will be beyond a place of peace and harmony if you get these 3 things down. So let's work on these 3 things together, all right, guys? Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments for me, please contact me anytime. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I'm super excited because I have a great video that I'm going to be making here pretty soon in honor of reaching 1,000 subscribers. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys, have a great rest of the week.